استجنتكي بعلنا خنحفصو قفوخ مليئو مدري بيتك فسو زخرخ قنبر وترو مستلالين قنات قنتي ياها قطنطن زبالين تسنفني دحرخ خيترف موتيتوني كتبق امبابا متان تبلوني عب تحت تلالكي ها انت زخبوني.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us in this wonderful afternoon in celebration of the formal release of Tsegalem's book, The Thread of Freedom. Well, I think most of you know me that I am Tsega's husband. And we know Tsega since 1973, a long time. Yeah. This was the year that we met at Asmara University, a place that was one of the major hubs of student movements of that time, where students, during their academic engagement, were actively involved in clandestine organizations supporting the Eritrean struggle for independence. Following the unleashing of the Red Terror campaign by the military junta in Addis Ababa, life in Asmara became extremely precarious. By mid-1974-75 academic year, the situation was not permitting us to continue our studies or simply stay down. Student life was over. It was time to leave and join the armed struggle, which both of us did. It was sad, but not unexpected. Since I came to know Tsegalem, I observed that she was committed to the cause of gender equality. I remember her writing an article that was posted in the student unions of the University of Asmara journal. That article was titled "The Role of Women in Politics." This is 1977. Since then, I witnessed her commitment to bring change in the role of women in Eritrea, in Eritrean society, keep me on ascent. By creating an atmosphere of terror, the enemy thought to create a haven for themselves. Ironically, this created a situation that strengthened the armed resistance by pushing almost all students in high school and higher education to flee and join the armed struggle. It was at this moment that a large number of women also joined the resistance. A large quantity of female recruits was not something the army struggle was prepared to handle. That revealed itself when male recruits were easily assigned military units for supporting departments, while females were held in suspension. This was a new reality that the movement needed to adopt some change. It was at this time that Sangha, with her fellow female recruits, stood firm not to allow any decisions that violate gender equality when it comes to training and assignments. After serious discussion with the leaders, the issue was resolved in a satisfactory manner. The female recruits got what they wanted. During her stay in the armed struggle, Sangha had several assignments. But whenever she went, she never relented her fight for the sake of gender equality. Eventually, she was selected to the Central Committee of the General Association of Eritrean Women, an association that was dedicated to ensuring the participation of Eritrean women in the armed struggle, but also was organized to ensure Eritrean women's rights are protected. After retreat of the ELF to the Sudan, in the integration of the organization, we moved to the West, which means we came to the United States. Definitely, the move to the West have geographically extended the distance to our country of origin. Nevertheless, the unfinished business back in Eritrea is still in our minds. The entire Eritrean diaspora is still engaged in the struggle for peace and justice, rule of law, and democratization of society, and for a better life for the Eritrean people. Sangha remains focused on the issue of women's rights and gender equality. It is for that purpose in mind, with the fellow compatriots from the armed struggle, that she organized the Eritrean Women's Association in North America, one, in which she is serving as the organization's chairperson. That said, I would like to go to the book and say a few words about it. The book compiles a story of struggle of 20 Eritrean women from various backgrounds. All these women were driven to join the national movement for the independence of Eritrea in one form or another. As the atrocities of the Ethiopian regime increasingly became unbearable, in Eritrean tradition, there is an adage in Tigrinya language that says, Nirisi Iwaga Arabski. Literal translation is, women do fight for the land. For the land is where the livelihood depends, be it for farming and animal herding. But this fight that the woman that we are talking about joined was not a fight that their grandmothers knew. It's a fight where fighter jets unleashed their napalm and cluster bombs. It was a fight where automatic rifles and heavy artillery unleashed bullets and missiles. Sometimes it's World War or World War I or II style entrenched battles. It was brutal and merciless slaughterhouse of human beings. Still aware of all those things, Eritrean women flocked in droves to join the front lines, to face whatever may be their male counterparts. By the end of the war, women combatants were 1/3 of the close to 100,000 strong army. These are the ones that were still alive, not counting those sacrificing their lives. They did fight heroically, and they sacrificed many their lives, others their limbs, their families, their careers, their educational future, and many other lost opportunities. With their sacrifices, they became part of history of liberating a nation. Their role is clearly indelible. As these women defied societal traditional expectation to join the struggle for independence, underlying in that there was anticipatory goals of emancipation. All of them were not willing to be treated as women with discriminatory levels. Their willingness to make a sacrifice was uncompromisingly tied to being treated as equals without any gender discrimination. In Eritrean War for National Independence, participation of females was more than symbolic. Irrespective of the past, of the post-war disappointments of totalitarian entrenchment, in the appalling absence of democratization, and consequently insignificant progress in gender equality, their participation changed traditional gender norms and attitudes for good. It opened the avenue for eventual political empowerment and introduced a post-independence gender equality debate that cannot be silenced or buried away. That brings the reality, alarming silence regarding women's role in the historical discourse of the nations is evident. Eritrean women need to display courageous stance of preserving their history and ensure the narrative of their historic participation remain dynamic. I guess the thread of freedom is a good contribution towards that goal. By selecting a sample from thousands, the book clearly portrays the heroic and selfless contribution of Eritrean women to the struggle for independence. And unfortunately, undoubtedly also confirms and fulfills promises of expectations regarding gender equality. May the day come when democracy and rule of law flourish in the land where thousands of women paid so dearly. Their sacrifice be rewarded through attaining their rightful place in society. With that, I would like to congratulate Tsegalem for finishing this book and allowing us to have at least some glimpse to the history of Eritrea and the sacrifices of Eritrean women. And to hear some words from her. There she is.
Hello. Can you hear me? Kuala Hanbats ako. Welcome. What do you say in Spanish, my sisters? Bienvenidos. Pardon Alatachu. Thank you, Dawit. I thought he would say, at last she finished it, now I can have it. That's what I was expecting. Thank you all, family and friends, for coming from far and near. I would like to begin by honoring and thanking all the women across the world, past and present, who have fought for freedom, for dignity, and for the basic rights of many of us we have today. From the struggle for the right to vote, to the fight for equality, justice, their courage has shaped the world we are living in now. In honor of all the women, please stand for 2 seconds and thank them silently. كل زحلفات الكنيسة الكبرى وسواتي نزل البركة حتى سكت Thank you. Rahel. Today, well, I'm assuming English for dunia kızarve hukum English kızarve gala hatırlamak. Some of it I'll translate, that I assume most of you speak English. So most of it will be in English because you guys have lived it, and I don't need to explain to you the history of Eritrea. So it will be in English. So bear with me. Today we gather not just to celebrate a book, but to honor history. One that has too often been overlooked, yet remains, yet remains deeply powerful. Before I talk about the book, I would like to share a couple of PowerPoint about Eritrea. That will help you understand why those women decided to fight. Go ahead. The history and geography of Eritrea. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots, said Marx Garvey. Next. This is what Eritrea is. For those who don't know, have no idea what it is. It's by the Red Sea at the border. It's a small country. Next. This is Eritrea, and it's in East Africa, bordered by Djibouti, Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Red Sea. Next. The life of Eritrean people has always been a fight against invaders. Eritrea was sought after because of the trade, maritime trades, routes, its possession of major land trade routes, strategic location. Like all other African countries, Eritrean people were not allowed to establish a free country. Italy officially colonized Eritrea on January 1st, 1890. During the Second World War, too, Italy finally renounced its territorial claims to Eritrea. However, this was not the end of Eritrea's struggle. After the defeat of the Italians, Eritrea was under the British military. If you know the history, most of them after the Second World War got their independence, but not Eritrea. Was under British military administration until 1952. At that point, they took over the Italians, the infrastructure the Italians left, and took it to Kenya, to other parts of Africa. That I want to mention. So they kind of stole the whole infrastructure. Instead of listening to the people's wish, due to its strategic location, once again, the powers to be, United Nations, decided the future of the country. As Dan Connell stated in his book, in the late 1940s, Washington became the main champion of Ethiopia's claim to Eritrea. because Ethiopia claims they need the access to the sea. So the debate over the colony's future started among the four powers: US, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. Then moved to the UN for this region. UN decided that Eritrea would govern itself with the local parliament, but to be federated with Ethiopia for 10 years. However, Ethiopia annulled the Eritrean parliament and formally annexed Eritrea. As a result, the war for independence started in 1961 and lasted for 30 years. You'll expect the UN will say something, but it's always the people don't decide. The powers should decide the future of the people. Eritrea finally won the War of Independence in May 24, 1991. Eritrea became a fully recognized independent country in 1993 after a UN-supervised referendum in which 99% of Eritreans voted for independence. It was unthinkable that a country of 4 million, with no powerful nation backing them, would win a war against Ethiopia of 70 million people. During Haile Selassie, up to 1974, Ethiopia was backed by the United States. And then after 1974, the communist countries, Russia and Cuba, were supporting Ethiopia. Eritrea's history is a testament that regardless of how powerful a country is, at the end, the people will succeed. Victory is always with the oppressed people. And to your surprise, when you are fighting, you find Kalashnikov, which is Russia, Uzi, which is Israel from Israel, and all kinds of weapons, because we fight, we take their weapons and fight with their own weapons and bullets. So let's come to the women fighters that inspired me to write this book. Of course, I was one of them. This is me. So, First of Freedom. It's an honor to share with you my book, First of Freedom today. This book is more than just a memoir for me. It's a tribute, testament, testimony, a preservation. Today I speak for the women who carry families, communities, and sometimes entire history on their backs, often without recognition. This book is to honor the women whose stories were never told. To me, this book is more than just a book. I realized that if we don't document the stories, they disappear. This book is my way of preserving truth, healing, and giving voices to those who were silenced. Following a personal journey toward migration and rebuilding. This book reveals the hidden sacrifices of Eritrean women, mothers, daughters, fighters, survivors. It explores the emotional and spiritual cost of survival. Although the stories in this book are Eritrean, the themes are universal. This book is about resilience in the face of war, motherhood, histories that were silenced. This book is not only for Eritrean and East African communities, but also for anyone who has lived through migration, loss, or rebuilding. It's for women whose stories were never told, for children of immigrants searching for identity, for historians, educators, and advocates, and for anyone who believes in the power of unity and women. These stories matter now more than ever. Women's voices are still underrepresented. War survivors still carry invisible wounds, and the next generation deserves truth, not silence. When we fail to document our stories, we allow erasure. This book is my refusal to let that happen. I invite you to help me amplify the stories. Share this book with someone who needs to feel seen. Let us honor the woman who carried us, not just in memory, but in action. Thank you for listening, and thank you for honoring the stories with me. Many of the stories remind us of the strength we come from and the legacy we must protect. And the second, there was another reason why I wrote the book. This time especially. Number one, there is to help the refugees who has no voice, nobody to help them. So all the proceeds from this book will go to the nonprofit Eritrean Rehab Relief Association. And I will show you some of the videos. And the second reason is, even here, the women, their rights is being trampled and stepped upon. And it's time for you to rise. I'm not asking women in America to get weapons and fight, but make your voice heard. I mean, say something, talk, have rallies, and just make your voice heard. That's another reason why I wrote this book. This is the right time to write this book. And that being said, before I show you two of the women I interviewed, they sent a video. I want Cathleen Earl, which is a member of my Democratic Club. And the reason why I want Cathleen to say something is, the first time when I wrote the book, I was nervous. Will people understand the story? If I write it in English, will it make sense? So I asked Cathleen to read it. Before Cathleen, I asked Angelica, my sister is somewhere there. What is she? Yeah. She's hiding. I asked her to read it. She said, Tsegalem, I can't. When she read some of the stories, she got emotional. She said, don't ask me. So I went to Cathleen. Cathleen, can you read it? You understand the story? Does it make sense? And she helped me build it, make sense of it, and gave me good corrections, good suggestions. So I like Cathleen to say something about the book.
Hello? Yes. Okay, as she probably hinted at just now, I first heard about the Eritrean fight for freedom, liberation, and independence when she spoke at a Chino Valley Democratic Club meeting. And I was totally swept up as she spoke. It's not only that it was an amazing tale of struggle and tragedy and victory, but also her voice. Her unique voice. I'm not even talking about the noises that come out of her vocal cords and her throat. I am talking about the choices of the words that she used and the manner that she strung together phrases and sentences and stories. It was very compelling. And so when she mentioned that she was writing a book, I was like, I want to read it, because if she spoke that well, I figured she would probably write that. When she sent over a rough draft of Threads of Freedom, I was even more powerfully affected by that voice. And of course, it was not just her voice I was reading. I was reading the voices of all the people that she had interviewed, daughters and sisters and mothers and fighters. Voices I'd never heard, of course, before, and I certainly would not have heard if it weren't for Tsegalem. These stories were so depressing to me, but they were really, really uplifting as well. Amazingly life-confirming, even though they were so death-ish too. When you get that kind of mix of emotion where it's really, really bad and really, really good at the same time, you know that's a powerful book. It's a book that should be read. It's a book that should be talked about. It's a book that should be shared and discussed. So thank you, Tsegalem, for writing that book.
Thank you. until he fixed it, there's two women who were part of the book. They gave why they were part of it. One of them lives in Sweden, Arafat Umar, she joined when she was young, and the other one lives in Canada. So they sent them in their books, but I couldn't make it work. And can you hear me without the microphone? Yes. No, I wanted to give special thanks to some people though. One is Rahel, she's here. Come on. Come on, she's the one who made this thing happen. From designing the book cover to finding where it should be printed. Come on. And everything was her. Okay, I'm proud of her. The second one is Naomi. She's my first grandchild. She's only 13, but she did work hard. She's the one who did the YouTube, and she was trying to get it streamlined. She couldn't because it didn't happen anyway. It's not her fault. Her younger sister was passing by and YouTube shut her down because no kids, I guess. The other person is all those people who are here. I really appreciate your presence. That goes without saying. And if I run out of books, just give me your name, your number, and you can order it from the website. And where is Abigail? And the little one, we have seen Abigail, we have seen Matty, and above all, those women who did, there is food in the bag. That's where is Anai, my sister. And there she is, come on. And everybody helped. And Nora, come here. Nora is the samosa in the back, and Zodi, come here. Zodi is the one which is the coffee, and Saba is the one who is making tea. I don't know where Saba is. Where's Saba? So I want to thank all this women, of course, Kathy. So you can come here and take a picture. Come on, everybody has something, and Dawit, for being patient. So this, they make it happen. And come on, Anyway, just say thank you for everyone, for me. It's a team effort. It's not only me. Everybody has something to do with this book. Thank you. Thank you. No, you have.
So, when I was pregnant with my first, with Amara, I thought, my mom's gonna retire, I'll have her full time. That didn't happen because shortly after she said she's going back to school. And at first, obviously, I was very selfish, thinking, why would you do that? But I realized she gave a lot to everyone, her country, her community for so long. It's time for herself to get back to herself. So I got over it. It was fine. We're okay. And then when she came to me with the book idea, I said it was brilliant. It's a great idea. I want to commend her for committing to it, and it takes a lot to write. It takes a lot to do. A lot of me writing it, to commit the time, the dedication, to follow through. So I did just a little part. I couldn't do my part without her. But it's a great book. I enjoyed reading it. My mom and her friends are always cool parents. And I always knew they were different, non-traditional, unfiltered, and reading the stories really shed light on who I is. So I thank her for writing this book and allowing my generation and my kids to have more insight into who they were and why they are who they are. So thank you.
ሰላም ስመይ ሳራ በላይ ይበሃል ካብ ካናዳ ካብ ኦቶዋ በአጋጣሚ መመረቅታ ናይ መጽሓፍ ናይ ተጋዳሊት ጸጋ ወልደማርያም ክሳተፍ ኣይከኣልኩን ብናይ ግዜ ረሓቂ ግን ኣብቲ ታሪክ ካብተን ተጠቂሰን ዘለዋ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ሓንቲ ስለ ዝኾንኩ ሓበን ይስማዓኒ ንብዙሓት ከማይ ተጋደልቲ ወኪለ ክኸውን ከዓ ተስፋ ገብር ናይ ብዙሓት ተጋደልቲ ታሪካዊ ኣትሎ ኣብ ውሽጢ ኣብ መስመር ፀላእን ኣብ በረኻታት ናይ ኤርትራን ዝተሳተፋ ተጋደልቲ ወይ ከዓ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ተረአን ብሰፊሑ ተገሊጹሎ ሰውራ ኤርትራ ዝተፈላለዩ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ዝተሳተፍኦ ዓብይ ታሪካዊ ፍጻሜ ዝተመዝገቦ ሓያል ገድሊ እዩ ነይሩ ስለዚ ነዚ ዘንፀባርቕ እዩ እቲ መጽሓፍ ተጻሒፉ ዘሎ በዚ ኣጋጣሚ ንጸጋ ወልደማርያም እንኳዕ ሓጎሰኪ ይብላ ንኩሎም ንጸጋ ወልደማርያም ኣብዚ ደረጃ ንክትበፅሕ ዝተሓጋገዝዋ ቤተሰባ የዕሩፍ መሓዙት ከዓ እንኳዕ ሓጎሰኩም ክብሎም ይደሊ ጽቡቕ ናይ ምምራቕ ግዜ ይቀኒየኒ
الحضور الكريم، الأخوة والأخوات، السلام عليكم. بهذه المناسبة أحب أن أتقدم بالتهنئة للأخت تسقى وldemariam بمناسبة تدشين كتابها Trade of the Freedom, Voices of Eritrean Women in the Liberation Struggle. أهنئة بهذه المناسبة أي بمناسبة تدشين كتابها وأحيي جهودها الجبارة. وبهذه المناسبة أحب أن أتقدم بكلمة قصيرة بمناسبة تدشين الكتاب. فطبعا أن توثيق نضالات المرأة الإريترية يحمل أهمية تاريخية ووطنية وإنسانية كبيرة. فالمرأة لم تكن مجرد داعم للثورة، بل كانت شريكا أساسيا في صنعها أي في صنع الثورة، وتحملت أعباؤها وقدمت التضحيات الجسام في سبيلها أي في سبيل إريتريا. وتكمن أهمية هذا الكتاب في حفظ الذاكرة الوطنية وإنصاف المرأة الإريترية في السردية التاريخية الحقيقية من خلال شهادات شخصية حية ومتعددة، شهادات حية ومتعددة للمشاركات في مسيرة الكفاح بما يسهم في صوت الحقيقة من محاولات التزوير والعبث والتشويه. كما يهدف الكتاب إلى إلهام الأجيال بقيم التضحية والشجاعة والصمود في نصرة الحق وتحمل المسؤولية الوطنية، فضلا عن إبراز ما واجهته النساء من تحديات إنسانية ونفسية واجتماعية وأسرية، إلى جانب التحديات العسكرية التي فرضتها ظروف النضال. الأخوة والأخوات،
أن مشاركة المسيرة الذاتية ليست مجرد تسجيل لمعلومات شخصية، بل هي مساهمة أصيلة في كتابة التاريخ من منظور من شاركا في صنعه. فكل سيرة تمثل وثيقة تاريخية ذات قيمة خاصة. وقد ازداد هذا الكتاب ثراء، زاد ثراء بتنوع المشاركات فيه واختلاف مجالات إسهاماتهن وانتماءاتهن إلى تنظيمات وتجارب متعددة. ومجمل ذلك يشكل إضافة نوعية إلى جهود كتابة تاريخ إريتريا، كما يبني جسرا متينا بين الأجيال، إذ يحفظ للجيل السابق ذاكرته النضالية، ويمكن ويمكن الأجيال الجديدة من التعرف إلى واقع الكفاح الوطني من مصادر حقيقية وشهادات مباشرة. وختاما الأخوة الأعزاء وأختي وزميلتي تساغلم وولدماريام، وختاما فإن هذا الكتاب ليست مجرد سجل للذكريات، بل هو وفاء للتضحيات وحفظ الأمانة التاريخية ورسالة للأجيال القادمة بأن الحرية والاستقلال صنعا بجهود الرجال والنساء معا، وبعزيمة لن تلن أمام، أي لن تركع، بمعنى لن تركع، لن تلن أمام التحديات. فلذلك الشكر موصول للأخوة تساغلم، وأحب أقول لها تساغلم أزي تقبريو زلخي غالسي ويتسنديو زلخي تاريخ قليل يخونن. سلازي جزيخي أوفيخي نزي مصحف زي نخد صحفي وينزي تاريخ زي نخد سندي. أنا بتعمي كم تنكالوت مالتيو بتعمي زدنا أكي وبتعمي زمسجنكي نزي تاريخ زي سنتك مالتيو. سلازي نزي تقبريو زلخي كتقصليو يمنى نتي زمسي زلو ولدو خاء كم ممهري كخونو كم سند كخونو تاريخ ناي أبوتاتو، تاريخ ناي أديتاتو، ناي حتنتاتو، ناي أموتاتو نخفلت نسو خاء نزي تاريخ زي ناي جنن التاريخ فولو غيرو منتها غورو بزي صبق بزي حشي الجباب نهقالس يمحسن مالتيو زيني من اسياتنا زملكت. سلازي تساغلم يغني لي كبلا كيفتو قصليو خا اخلو خا يهبكي تساغلم حفتي. وشكرا جزيلا. شكرا.
ብስራት ነንበብቲ መጽሓፍ ብእንግሊዝኛ ዝተጻሕፈት ድምፂ ተጋደልቲ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ኤርትራ ትብል መጽሓፍ ብጸሓፊት ጸጋለም ወልደማርያም ዝተጻሕፈት መጽሓፍ ብፍላይ ነቶም ኣብ ስደት ዝዓብዩ ዘለዉ መንእስያት ምስ ታሪኽ ናይ ኣዴታቶምን ዓባየታቶምን ንምፍላጥ ከምኡውን ጅግንነት ኤርትራውያን ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ምስ ዓለም ንምልላይ ዝዓለመት እያ ትብል እዛ መጽሓፍ ንዒስራ ዝኾና ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ቃለ መሕትት ብምግባር ታሪኽ ህይወተን ባዕለን ብቓለን ዝበልኦ ተመኩረአን እትገልጽ መጽሓፍ እያ ንምልላይ ካብ ብ1965 ዝተሰለፈት ጅምዓ ዑመር ኣብ ከብዲ ጸላኢ ውሽጣዊ ስርዕ ዘካየደትን ዝተኣስረትን ኣበባ በዓታይ ኣብ ትሕቲ ዕድመ ኸላ ኣብ ኢድ ጸላኢ ኣብ ማእሰርቲ ዝኣተወት ገነት ብርሃነን ንሽድሽተ ወርሒ ከተገልግል ደቃን ስራሓን ገዲፋ ካብ ካናዳ ንሜዳ ዝኣተወት ዓባይ ሓፍትናን ኣዴናን ሙሉበየነ ካብ ፖርት ሱዳን ኣብ ንኡስ ዕድሚኣ ዝተሰለፈት ዓረፋት ዑመርን ንስነ ጥበብ ብፍላይ ከዓ ናይ ኩናማ ባህሊ ምስ ዓለም ዘላለየት ዳሃብ ፋቲንጋ ብሓፈሽኡ ብዕድመ ንኣሽቱን ዓበይትን ተጋደልቲ ተጋድሎ ሓርነትን ህዝባዊ ግንባርን ንብዙሕነትና እተንጸባርቕ መጽሓፍ እያ እዛ መጽሓፍ ቅድሚ ናብ ቃልሲ ምጽምባረን ብኸመይ ሃገራዊ ስምዒት ከም ዝሓደረን ትጽቢታት ሕብረተሰብ ዘጋጠመን ተቃውሞታትን ብድሆታትን ብኸፊል ተዘንቱ መጽሓፍ እያ ብዓብዩ ከዓ እዘን ደቂ ኣንስትዮ እታ ንእስነተንን ገለውን ዓይኒ ብርከን ዝኸፈላላ ሃገር ብፍትሒ ክትመሓደር ጌና ካብ ቃልሲ ይዕረፋን ብዝተፈላለየ መንገዲ ይቃለሳ ኣለዋ ታሪኽ ተጋደልቲ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ኤርትራ ጌና ይተተንከፈን እሞ እዛ መጽሓፍ ታሪኸን ክጽሕፋ ከም መተባብዒት ክትከውን ንትስፎ እዛ መጽሓፍ ነተናስማተን ኣብ መዛግብቲ ዘይኣተዋ ዝተረስዓ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ግን ኣብ ፈቐዶ ኣኽራንን ጎቦታትን ህይወተን ዘወፍያ ነተን ብጠበንጃን ጽንዓትን ተጋዲለን ብህይወት ዝተረፋ ግን ከኣ ዝተረስዓ እዛ መጽሓፍ ንዓኻትክን እያ ትብዓትክን ኣይተረስዐን ቃልስኽን ንኸንቱ ይነበረን እቲ ታሪኽ ወላ ብሽምተን ዘዘንተወኦ እንተተጻሕፈ ታሪኽ ናይ ኩልና ምዃኑ ዘይምዝንጋዕ ኣብ መወዳእታ ናይዛ መጽሓፍ ሽያጥ ናብ ማሕበር ረድኤትን ምሕዳስን ኤርትራ ማለት Eritrean Relief and Rehab Association ኣታዊ ክኸውን እዩ እዛ ማሕበር ረድኤት ኣብ ካሊፎርኒያ ከም ናይ ግብረሰናይ ዝተመስረተት ኮይና ኣብ ዝተፈላለየ ኩርናዓት ዓለም ጨንፈር ዘለዋ ማሕበር እያ ዕላማታት ማሕበር ነቶም ረዳእ ዘይብሎም ስደተኛታት ኤርትራውያን ሓገዝ ምብርካት እዩ እታ መጽሓፍ ኣብታ ናይ ግብረሰናይ ዌብሳይት ማለት eritreanreliefandrehab.org ክትዕድግዋ ከም እትኽእሉ ንሕብር ነቶም ኣብ ከባቢ ሎስ አንጀለስ እትቕመጡ መመረቕታ መጽሓፍ ንቐዳም 26 ሰነ 2026 ኣብ ካሊፎርኒያ ተዳልዩ ከም ዘሎ ካብ ሰዓት 2 ፈረቓን ድሕሪ ቀትሪ ክሳብ 5 ፈረቓን ድሕሪ ቀትሪ ክህልዮ ምሳና ክትሳተፉ ብኽብሪ ንዕድም بدحان مصو
استجنتكي بعلنا خنحفصو قفوخ مليئو مدري بيتك فسو زخرخ خنب وترو مستلالة قناعت قنتي كتنطن زبالة موتيتو كتبق بابا متان تبلوني عب تحت تلالكي